Speaking of future, so we have a lot of my audience is mostly kids in high school that are dreaming of becoming an engineer, or early college engineers that are trying to make it through finals right now, or people that are just starting in their career of engineering. What advice would you give to somebody that's considering pursuing an engineering degree?
Keep pursuing it.
Yeah,
I gave that same advice to my son, who did then graduate and get both a bachelor's and a master's degree in civil engineering, and actually just loves it. So he is
yeah,
now the traffic engineer for a Southern California city here. But I run into another engineering major and I went to lunch with him here about a year or two ago, and I introduced him to, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett and this type of thing, and he's been wanting to quit college ever since, almost, and switch to the business thing. I says, no, 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 don't do that. Stay, get your engineering major for sure, and then take that wherever it takes you. It'll take you a lot of places. So stay
yeah.
with the engineering major and stay with the education, and use that as your foundation to go wherever you want to go.
Yeah. So it's so funny because my next question is what would you say to an engineer that has that passion for a career in business or beyond traditional design engineering? You say continue pursuing the engineering degree. A lot of engineers feel like maybe that they'd be wasting their engineering degree by pursuing a field beyond that. And honestly, that's something that I grappled with for the longest time. I mostly I work in contracts now. Most of my time is spent pouring through engineering contracts and engineering rates and negotiating engineering terms. But there was a period of time when I was like, oh, this is the direction I'm going. It's more operational, business side, not design. Am I okay with this? You're a great example of somebody that said, well, yes, I value the engineering degree. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to use it, and I value it. And what would you say to somebody that is about to make that leap, or they're finding themselves kind of their careers just drifting towards away from design engineering, and they're having trouble kind of releasing that that fact that well, I spent all this time studying design engineering.
Well, I think you definitely have to follow your passion in life. So you're not going to be really all that great or even all that happy doing something just for a paycheck, if you will. So if you find yourself, in an engineering job that you don't like, find another engineering job, or, find a whole nother job altogether. And again, I guess I felt most guilty. I mean, I really have a lot of respect for engineers, and I think the world needs, for example, engineers more than they need money managers. So I felt kind of guilty taking all the resources that were put into my education with professors and all that, and saying I'm kind of I'm kind of pushing that aside to pursue, I think, a less worthy career, if you will, as a money manager. But I've been always just happy and fascinated, and never really felt this was even a job. And so I think if anyone can find that in their profession, that's ultimately the key.
Yeah, that's a beautiful sentiment, and I'll tell you, as somebody who works in an industry where we build a lot of things and we work with a lot of people that are trying to develop projects, the people that manage the money and that provide the financing are the people that enable a lot of amazing things to get built in our country. And I think that people that manage money and are that help make sure that there's good stewardship over money, helping people realize their life dreams and the stability and their goals for their setting up their security in life and the security of the people that they love that come after them. I think there's a lot of great value in that. And I hope, I know you feel it. I know that you feel it, and you've definitely gotten it at this point. So I want to say thank you for what you do. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate you sharing your story. Did I miss anything in the journey?
No, I appreciate that wrap up. And again, in anything you do, do it the right way for the customer, and you'll feel pretty good about what you're doing too.
Thank you so much, Steve. And thank you so much for this coming on to this episode of the podcast.
You're welcome. I'm very happy to have done it.
Never losing focus because I ain't chasing payments. Still playing in the basement while I'm working on arrangements. They heard the kid in 50 countries, thank God that's amazing. But I'd rather thank Spotify, they put me on the station.